But Shell, for example, produces a fluid, a dielectric fluid that's used widely in immersion cooling. They're going to be a vendor to this space for a long time to come. And look, as energy producers, it's my belief that they are naturally fit to become the Bitcoin miners of the future, leveraging their low-cost power, stranded or otherwise, to turn it into Bitcoin, which I think we all agree is going to be more valuable over time. So.
Welcome back to the Bitcoin Economy Podcast. We have Daniel Koff, co-founder of Rosso, here with us.
Well, good to be with you.
Yeah. So Daniel, we got connected through Eric Stoltz, former coworker of ours, good friend. Would love to dive in because you guys work directly with him, and they're in the mining side. And so we're learning on our end. We focus on financial services. We've talked to Marathon, we've talked to a few other big miners, but we really need to dive in deeper into the tech a little bit and tell some of our listeners just what exactly is the immersion side? Why should us as novice people in the mining care about immersion?
Yeah, it's a great question. So ultimately, what we're seeing with Bitcoin ASICs today is that they're becoming increasingly powerful, and the heat load in such a small space has reached a point where it actually can't be cooled by air any longer, as you want to use the most powerful and efficient ASICs. So what that means is miners are transitioning to liquid cooling, immersion cooling in particular, where you're basically taking that ASIC, you're immersing it in a fluid that does not conduct electricity, and that fluid helps keep it cool. That fluid moves heat away from those devices better than air, and ultimately with that cooling capacity, you're able to push the miners harder. They're much more stable. They're much more efficient. You get overclocking capability where you can generate more revenue per miner, which improves your rate of return on those assets. So it's incredibly important to everything that miners care about.
Yeah. And one thing we've even discussed, talking about Marathon Digital yesterday, and a big factor is operational efficiency. And as a public miner, they're looking, and people that are analysts of the stock are looking at everything that they're doing, and where's these capital intensive assets? What's their longevity? What's going to be return of capital? Is this a kind of a conversation where you go to these miners and you're saying, hey, we're going to improve your balance sheet performance through having this new technology?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the way we look at it is the ASICs are your core asset. The most important thing is to protect them, to utilize them to the fullest extent, to make sure they're running for as long as possible. So, a lot of miners think about just cooling. It's actually about thermal stability. Keeping those miners thermally stable prevents really the number one cause of ASICs failing, this thing called thermal cycling, where the devices, as air temperatures get hot and cold, the devices are literally physically expanding and contracting. And that's where you cause failures to your power supplies, to other parts of the device. By immersing them in something that's really power dense, like Rosseau's Immersion system, you're in a position where you eliminate that thermal cycling. They're very thermally stable. Yeah. And what that means is these devices run, we project 6 years as a lifespan. You can generate about 50% more hash rate per ASIC. And you can do that, by the way, while maintaining really excellent efficiency. So even with a 50% overclock, for example, a 13 or 15%, 15% change in efficiency. So a lot more revenue, right? A lot less operational issues. Your head count in terms of your workforce can go down, so your overhead becomes much more efficient. And yeah, your ASICs become much better utilized and generating a lot more revenue with a lot fewer touch points.
Yeah. We've just seen, walking the floor a little bit. ExxonMobil's here, Shell's here. Some of these big companies we typically haven't seen before at any blockchain, any crypto, any Bitcoin conference. What's your take on that? Are these guys, new to the space? Have they been working behind the scenes? They're obviously some of the largest companies, in the world.
Yeah. So I don't think they're new to the scene, and I think they're here to stay, probably in many ways. But Shell, for example, produces a fluid, a dielectric fluid that's used widely in immersion cooling. They're going to be a vendor to this space for a long time to come. And look, as energy producers, it's my belief that they are naturally fit to become the Bitcoin miners of the future, leveraging their low-cost power, stranded or otherwise, to turn it into Bitcoin, which I think we all agree is going to be more valuable over time. So I think they're going to play multiple roles in the space moving forward.
What else are you looking to get out of this week? It's JD Vance was on stage this morning. We've been talking to people from all over the world that are here, and it's like almost like a festival. What's Rosso get out of it?
Yeah, I mean, for us, it's about connecting with new and old customers. We work with, public miners. We work with some of the largest asset managers in the world, public oil and gas producers. So it's really meeting with folks who are interested in how do I securely and intelligently get into this environment, get world-class infrastructure that really utilizes my ASIC investment to the greatest extent possible, makes it as easy to manage as possible. So it's really a process of meeting clients, educating them, and growing the business together and helping them achieve their goals in Bitcoin mining.
I mean, as we're seeing, like, there's a lot of new entrants. You guys have been at it for a while, coming in with proprietary tech. And I think that's something that people are excited about is like, yes, there's new entrants and we're excited about it. There's new treasury companies adding Bitcoin to their balance sheets, what we're excited about. But you also have to celebrate the people that have committed to it for a long time and have a good long-term view. So, Dan, really appreciate you stopping by. We'll be seeing you around the conference and enjoy.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.